I sat in the cold, sterile office, waiting for the lawyer to finish his mechanical speech about my late father-in-law's estate. He droned on, sounding like a broken record of corporate jargon I didn't need to hear. I wasn't listening. Her face, my wife's face, was etched into my thoughts. Her smug expression as she casually mentioned that this was her inheritance. Mansions, yachts, the cars, all the things I'd never given her. All the things I couldn't afford to give. She wore it like a crown. She looked at me like a man who'd failed. The lawyer reached into a drawer and pulled out an old, dusty envelope. He slid it across the table toward me with the same indifference as the rest of the papers. I looked at it. The envelope was small, but something about it felt wrong. "Mr. Blake," the lawyer said, "this is for you." I took it, but didn't open it then. No, I'd wait. After the meeting ended, I walked back to the car, the engine humming beneath me. But the tension lingered. At home, I locked myself in the study, alone. I slid the envelope open carefully. The thin paper inside, a pale, ghostly reminder of everything I wasn't. A single sheet of paper, a bank account number, and a line written in ink. "This is for my son-in-law, in whom I'm well pleased." It felt like an insult, a taunt. I stared at the number. For a moment, I wondered if it was a prank. Then, I picked up my phone. I didn't hesitate. I transferred the money. I never questioned her, not once. She wore the mask of the perfect wife, and I wore the mask of the perfect husband. But when her father passed, something had shifted. There were moments, small ones, that felt like cracks in the veneer of our life together. A missed phone call late at night. A glance exchanged in the kitchen with a man I didn't recognize. I dismissed it, telling myself it was just my mind playing tricks. But tonight, something had changed. I'd taken the money, but it wasn't about the money. No, it never had been. It was about the lie, the deep, poisonous lie I had begun to suspect. I couldn't look at her anymore without wondering. Her smile, once warm, now felt like a mask. Her voice, once a comfort, was a whisper in my ear, full of things I didn't know. The more I thought, the more I realized. Nothing about this was what it seemed. I began the quiet investigation. I didn't need to ask. I knew better. I started checking things, phone records, receipts, emails. Each one, like a brick added to the wall, was a whisper that spoke the truth. A single name kept reappearing. His name. It wasn't just an affair, it was far worse. It was a web of manipulation, a carefully crafted plan to bind me to her, to control everything, and make me think I was the fool. Every day I felt like I was drowning. Yet I never let her see it. The house was still the same. The dinners were still filled with laughter, with the same pretense that everything was fine. But I knew now. I'd received the confirmation. A private investigator had done the work for me. It wasn't even a surprise when the results came back. I wasn't just being cheated on. I wasn't just being mocked. I wasn't the father. The child wasn't mine. I sat there, looking at the paper, the truth spilling out in cold black ink. She had lied to me. She had known, and I had never questioned. She had manipulated me into believing I was the fool, that I was the man she wanted me to be. But the truth couldn't be denied. It was right there in front of me. And I was going to make sure she knew that I knew. I waited for the right moment. It came as I knew it would. She was sitting on the couch watching some mindless show. She hadn't noticed me, but I had noticed her. The way her fingers gripped the glass of wine a little too tightly. The way her eyes never quite met mine. I walked over to the table. I laid the results in front of her. Her breath caught in her throat when she saw them. Her fingers trembled as they touched the paper. "Do you want to explain this?" I asked, my voice calm, detached. It didn't matter now. I had the power. I had the truth. Her face shifted, the false mask falling away. She stammered, I already know. There was nothing left to say. Her eyes darted to the floor. She couldn't meet my gaze. The weight of her own lies crushed her. I stood up. You're not getting away with this, I said, my voice a low, cold whisper. Her entire world collapsed in that instant. But I wasn't done. I still had one thing left to do. I watched her cry. I watched the tears fall, watched the way her world shattered. But I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no anger, just clarity. She was a stranger now, a woman who had betrayed me, who had lied to me, who had stolen from me in ways I could never undo. I was done. I was finished with her. I opened the door, walked out, and never looked back. The truth had set me free, and I walked away, emotionally detached, untouchable. Nothing else mattered. She had lost everything.